Introduction. The Legend Beneath the Sands. In the southern Gobi Desert, one of the harshest, most remote landscapes on Earth, stories persist of a creature that defies classification. Locals call it the Olgoi Korkoi, which means intestine worm in Mongolian, due to its gruesome, segment-like appearance and blood-red color. In English, it is often known by its more terrifying nickname, the Mongolian death worm. According to Mongolian nomads and herders, this creature dwells beneath the sands, grows up to 2 to 5 feet in length, has no visible eyes or mouth, and is said to kill instantly by emitting high-voltage electric shocks or spitting acid or venom that corrodes flesh and metal. To many locals, this is no legend, but a deadly reality, one rarely seen, never captured, but always feared. Cultural context. Myth, memory, or mistranslation. The Mongolian death worm is not an ancient myth passed down for centuries. Rather, it rose to international attention in the 20th century, particularly after Mongolia's brief opening to foreign visitors in the early 1900s. Local belief and taboos. Among Mongolian nomadic communities, stories of the death worm are often treated with serious respect and caution. Descriptions have remained surprisingly consistent over time, describing a fat, sausage-like body, about 60 centimeters to 1.5 meters long, no legs, no eyes, with one end allegedly capable of expelling deadly venom, a tendency to appear after heavy rains, often buried under dunes most of the year. It is said to kill livestock, camels, and even humans, with no warning. Importantly, many Mongolians do not consider it a fantasy, but rather a real and dangerous animal, best left undisturbed. Western discovery, the Roy Chapman Andrews effect. The West's introduction to the death worm began with Roy Chapman Andrews, an American paleontologist and explorer whose 1920s expeditions in the Gobi Desert led to groundbreaking dinosaur fossil discoveries. While Andrews himself never reported seeing a death worm, he mentioned it in his 1926 book, On the Trail of Ancient Man, describing how Mongolian officials and camel herders warned him about a lethal, subterranean creature capable of killing at a distance. Though skeptical, he documented the legend respectfully, writing, "It is said to be shaped like a sausage about 2 feet long, has no head nor legs, and it is so poisonous that merely to touch it means instant death." This was enough to ignite Western fascination with the creature. Description and reported abilities. Eyewitness reports, often decades apart, consistently describe color, blood red or deep brown, size, 2 to 5 feet in length, shape, cylindrical, limbless, with indistinct head, habitat, buried in loose sand or near oases in the Gobi. Behavior, emerges only under rare conditions, heat, rainstorms, or vibrations. The most bizarre claims include electrocution-like shocks, fatal to humans and animals, corrosive venom or acid spit, capable of dissolving metal, explosive defensive discharge, like an internal pressure burst. No verified scientific report has confirmed these traits, but the consistency of descriptions has kept interest alive. Scientific explanations. Myth meets biology. Is it based on a real animal? Skeptics and biologists have proposed that the legend may stem from misidentified or exaggerated accounts of actual desert animals. Amphisbaenians or worm lizards. Limbless, subterranean reptiles found in dry environments. Rare and hard to observe. Some resemble short snakes. Sand boas or desert-dwelling snakes. Some species of snake bury themselves in sand and can strike suddenly, possibly inspiring stories of a hidden threat. Giant intestinal parasites. Speculative. The name intestine worm may stem from the creature's look. Some have suggested the creature could be a misidentified parasite or even a displaced marine worm fossil. Biological impossibility of electrical discharge. No known land animal produces lethal electrical voltage. Electric eels and rays exist, but only in water. The Gobi is a dry desert with no known electrifying species. While no known species matches all aspects of the death worm, certain features suggest that something real could be behind the legend, later exaggerated by fear, mistranslation, or memory. Expeditions and evidence, or lack thereof. Over the decades, many expeditions have attempted to track or prove the death worm's existence. Key expeditions include Ivan Mackerel, 1990s, a Czech cryptozoologist and explorer who led multiple expeditions and even used robots and seismic sensors. He captured no evidence but collected consistent eyewitness testimony. Richard Freeman, 2005, British zoologist and author, interviewed locals who recounted recent sightings and attacks on livestock. Destination Truth, 2000s, popular television show investigated the death worm, claiming unusual electromagnetic anomalies, but no creature. Despite serious effort, no expedition has returned with photographic, physical, or ecological proof. Why the legend persists. Even without hard evidence, belief in the Mongolian death worm continues for several reasons. The Gobi remains remote and difficult to fully survey. Nomadic oral traditions preserve the creature as part of their cultural heritage. The tale fills the role of the sand monster, a terrestrial version of the Loch Ness monster or kraken. Cryptozoology thrives on mystery, and the Gobi's harsh, uncharted nature keeps imaginations alive. For some locals, the story is not about proof. It's about respecting nature's unknowns.